निर्मुक्तोऽहं निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहं निरवद्योऽहं निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यक्षचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहं प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः मायातत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वभूस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्।
Hari Om, good evening, a very warm welcome to all of you. Please come, let's invoke the power of praying together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sahanavavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine name Vyaapi, to such a supreme power, magnificent Lord, together with Shraddha, Bhakti and Prapatti, we offer our humble salutations. To seek His grace, mercy, love, kindness, benevolence, forgiveness. O Lord, bless us with the divine qualities like Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti, Mumukshutva in a much more enhanced proportion. This is only and only to understand Thy true self right within our hearts. Like a self-experience, Aparoksha Anubhuthi. This can happen purely by your grace and only at your behest. I beseech in you again and again that this is a yearning which I am striving for. There is no greater endeavor in life than achieving this. Bless me to have this all my life and help me to reach my goal. Our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. With the grace of the Almighty and the immense blessings of the Guru Parampara, today we are on our Divine Discourse number 430 and the Aparoksha Anubhuthi number 18. On the 17th of June 2025, Swasti Shri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Uttarayana Grishma Rutu Jyeshta Masa Krishna Paksha Bhaumavasare Shashthyatitho Shatabishta Nakshatra Vishwakamba Yoge Vanijakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all once again revisit our oath, kindled with affirmation that whatever be the cost, however my mind is wavering, but I will stick to this one dictum, Naham Karta Hari Karta Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartham. All that is happening in my life, every action, every thought, every word is happening only and only at the behest of the Almighty. And I stand to remain as a pure witness to all that is happening, unconcerned. O Lord, bless me with this knowledge and make me achieve what I have in mind. We once again offer our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. So we continue our journey. The goal is not very far though. It's all quite close, but what I need is your 100% participation in the understanding. Anything comes to you in the way you have asked for. Tad bhavam tad bhavati. Your bhava is important. You just make this as one of the passing phases of your daily routine. You will not really achieve what you need to achieve. This is something which is extraordinary we are asking. And for that extraordinary, we need to pay that extraordinary attention and focus. Even to listen to these things is, I would call that as one of the greatest fortune of a jiva. I don't know how many lives, what we have done. Today we are getting this. But don't make it a point where we only listen to it, we understand it, but we don't experience it. What will be the use of such kind of study? Like, you went to a very nice place to have, say, your lunch, and then you don't get an appointment over there. You have to wait for, they don't take appointments, and then you have to wait for almost 1.5 hours in the queue, and then finally you get a seat, and then finally you eat. You enjoyed everything, and then you come out and puke. What is the point? The whole fun of that endeavor goes a waste. So here, up to understanding is fine, but now that understanding, whatever you have eaten, now that should give you that energy. See, when we are very hungry and we feel weak, But the moment you eat something, you feel energetic. What does that mean? That means the food which went into your stomach, it was able to immediately release the energy required for the body. So here, this knowledge in the same way has to start giving you that feeling of oneness with the divine. That should be your purpose. Why I'm saying this is, you should know how to approach the subject. So, having this in mind, keep no doubts anywhere. Any slightest doubt, you can always reach out to me and clarify the doubt. Reason is, when we go to the final stage, that is a stage where there is no mind. Remember this carefully. It's not that where you can think about it, or you can try to recollect about some knowledge and try to meditate. No. It is a stage where you have to drop your mind and walk the path. So for that, you need to master the subject. Master the subject meaning what? There is nothing great to master over here. What is the Upanishads talking about? That there is one supreme power which has enveloped the entire universe. This is one basic truth which they are talking about. Now what is happening over here? So far what we have studied that look, you have mixed up everything. You have mixed up that Chetana Shakti in you, which is the reflected consciousness, that Atma in you, along with the body, the mind, the senses, and you are living your life. That's the life of an ignorant. What is the difference between an ignorant person and a sadhak and a realized person? The sadhak is now making an attempt to understand what is his true self, which we all are doing now. And who is a realized person? A realized person who has understood the difference. What is the difference? The difference is that all this is not a mix-up. My true nature, which I had preconceived to be this person, this limited individual who has got his own set of problems, his own set of joys, his own set of achievements, all this so-called person, I am that. This is what we have understood. But now, what the Creator says is, you are not that. You are no different from the Creator. Now today we'll understand. As we move on, we are going to talk about it. So where is the point now? Now, he says that you are not these body, mind, senses, but you are that Atman in which all these are enlivened to function. Okay, this is one first difference which we got to understand. And as we have now understood this, yeah, true. These are very clear. How can I be my phone? How can I be my bag? How can I be my spectacles? How can I be my book? How can I be my house? How can I be my car? How can I be my watch? These are all what I am using for my living. So in the same way, this Atman is using the body, the mind, the senses. All these are nothing but apparatus or instruments in the hands of the Atman for a living. Okay, now we understood this. Now what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says is, if this is the case where you have now divided the Atman and the rest as Anatma. Anatma means not the Atma. You are now dividing this. So when you make a division, it goes against the basic principle of Advaita, which is non-dualism, monoism. There are no two over here. There is only one. Understand this carefully. When there is only one, how can you show that Atman is different and these are different? Then why did you tell us all this? All these 40 verses, we have again and again been saying, how can the body be real? How can the mind be real? And this Shruti is telling, and that Upanishad is telling. All this way we got to understand. This was only because we know who we are and we know something which we are not aware of. We don't know basically. Now to understand that what I don't know, I have to first start from what I am not. What I know, but I am not that. First understand that. Get rid of that. And then know what your true self is. So this is the second major step which we are now entering. And then what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, since there is no two, everything which you see in this entire universe is nothing other than that one reality. Very simple. We didn't know what Atman is, now we know that there is Atman. And my true nature is Atman. But what I understood to be as so and so person, that is not my true nature. This much I have understood. But now there is a major leap which I have to take in my life, is I should also know that apart from whatever I had considered myself to be, is along with the Atman, everything else I see in the entire universe is nothing but that one Atman and Atman alone. It may sound a little heavy, but eventually that is the truth, and that is very, very easy to understand. Now I'll give you an example. You are dreaming. You are there. Then you have your friend. You have your well-wisher. You have your enemy also there. And you have several other people in your dream, different people. Now I come and tell you that you all are one. You all are not two or 3 or 10 or 100 different people. No, you all are one. You will say something wrong has happened to this guy. Since when is he behaving like this? Yeah, I also saw him since last a month or so, he's talking all this rubbish. It's so true. In the dream, when you are different and when you have different people around you, how can you say that all are one? But when you get up, it was all in one mind. Isn't it? This is very clear. Oh, everything was in one mind of mine. And that mind projected different people, different places, different objects, different perceptions. Isn't it? So in the same way, this whole Advaita Vedanta study is about moving from a lower reality to a higher reality. That's the only principle of or aim and goal of Advaita Vedanta. Whatever we see, it appears real. But understand that there is something more real to this and go to the next level. And from there you look, is there anything more real to this? Yes. If it is there, then go to the next level. So when you look at a lower truth from the standpoint of the higher truth, the lower truth becomes an illusion. Like when you wake up, the dream becomes an illusion or a lower truth. You don't care much about the dream. In the same way, when you are in a waking state and when you achieve that state of consciousness, when you rise your mind to the level of that pure consciousness, then what happens is you feel that the waking state is also like a dream. It is an illusion. So that's the reason they talk about avastatraya sakshi, meaning the witness of the dream state, the waking state, and the deep sleep state. They are all three different states. There is one consciousness which is witnessing all these three states. So now we know where we are moving. So keeping this in mind, now we'll take the subsequent shlokas where Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he tries to explain to us that everything is in that pure consciousness. It twists the subject here and there. Let's understand, so you will also get a feeling of it. Then maybe we can look at doing it together. Okay, we'll take up verse 43. We had done last time, but it was not to the extent which I wanted to. So let's understand this. 43. चैतन्यस्य एकरूपत्वात् भेदयुक्त न कर्हिचित् जीवत्वं च मृषा ज्ञेयं रज्ज्वा सर्पग्रहे यथा. Now, in this particular shloka, here he talks about, see, these are so profound. What he says there is no separate jiva. My God. Meaning, I am the jiva and there is Paramatma. All along I have understood this. But now here he says that there is no separate jiva at all. It is only appearing as that. See, this is the difference. It's not that there is no jiva. There is jiva or several jivas, but they are only appearances in that pure self that is in the Paramatma. So how do I understand? Because consciousness, that Chaitanya Shakti, is of one undivided nature. Ekamadvitiyam. So this non-dual nature is the very nature of that, the fundamental of this entire universe. This division, Bheda, so that Bheda within it cannot exist. There cannot be a division, there cannot be a separation. The individuality or the notion of being a jiva, a separate living entity, is false. Mrsha. Mrsha means false. Just as, he gives a metaphor here, just as the snake imagined on a rope is an error of perception. Let's dwell on the details. Ekarupatvat. I'm taking the important aspects. Ekarupatvat of Chaitanya, meaning that Chaitanya Ekarupatvat, what is that? That Ekarupatvat, that is the non-duality of that pure consciousness. Now, he says, consciousness is one and without any distinctions. There is only one sun. Up there is only one sun. It may be giving sunlight to various parts of the planet. For a jungle, there is no separate sun. For a desert, there is no separate sun. For the Iceland, there is no separate sun. So consciousness is one without any distinctions. And as we have seen, the central claim, what is of Advaita Vedanta? Ekam, one. Nityam, eternal. Nirvikaram, without any modification. These are the general attributes or the qualities we have understood about that supreme power. Akhanda, indivisible. You cannot divide it. Therefore, if Brahman or that consciousness is one, how can there be many jivas? So he says, this is the crux of that illusion. We see multiplicity, divisions, variations, where only one unity exists. One example can be, you have in a drama theater, you have seen on the stage, there's one light, white light. And in front of that white light, what do you have? You have different color papers, and they keep rolling it. So sometimes when you see, especially when there are these disco dances and all that, they rotate the wheel and you will be seeing all colors emitting on the stage. So that one light is appearing as many colors. Not that there are the light which is being emitted is of different colors. It is only one white light, but it is appearing as different colors. In the same way, Bheda yuktaha na karhichita. Division is never real over here. So the idea of I am different from you, or you say I am the doer, or I am the experiencer, is all based on apparent differences what we have in a particular body, mind and complex. But he again says, these differences do not touch the pure consciousness. Like if the sunlight is falling on a gutter, the sun doesn't get dirty. If sunlight is falling on the river Ganga, it's not that the sun will get purified. It is wherever it is falling, it has got no implication on the source. So whatever differences one is experiencing, like the light emitted from the on the stage is looking different. Now you see green light on the stage, you see yellow light, you see red light, you see brown light, but there is that pure white light which is the foundation, that remains the same. Just like you see the reflection of on a Purnima day, you see on a still water, you see the reflection of the moon, or there are different pots of water, let's say, you see that one bright moon shining over there. So this jivatvam, in the second sentence, jivatvam cha mrisha gneyam rajjo sarpa graho yata. So this jivatvam, the sense of that limited individuality, that notion I am a jiva, is declared as mrisha. Mrisha means false. It is a mistake, my dear child, understand. Now this is the key of Advaita, where you say, you were never a jiva. The jivatva is an imagined condition superimposed on Brahman, which is only due to ignorance. And there he comes to, this is false. Mrisha gneyam. Gneyam means you have understood in the wrong way. What is the metaphor? Rajjo sarpa grahe yatha. Look at that snake and rope analogy. Rajjo sarpa nyaya. Look at that. Now rope is Brahman, pure consciousness. Snake is the sarpa, meaning snake is jiva. That illusory sense of individuality. So now in little darkness at dusk, one sees a rope and immediately gets terrified, and because he has understood it to be a snake. Now all that fear, that sense of getting nervous, all that are happening in the mind, which is based on a false perception. And understand this example carefully. There was no snake at all. Similarly, the jiva with all its karma, bondage, birth, death, transmigration, all that which is happening, it appears real to it. But when the true nature of that rope, that Brahman is known, the snake vanishes. As soon as the knowledge of light, just like in our understanding, Yeah, if this is the case, then where is this jiva? This is an appearance. So when the true nature of the rope is understood, that Brahman is understood, as the snake vanishes from the rope, that jnana or that knowledge, our jivatva dissolves. So this verse corrects, a very subtle but foundational error with which we are all living. Like seekers who accept, I am consciousness, or I am that Chaitanya Shakti. They often unconsciously they retain a sense of individuality. Even though we try to accept, we may maintain that. But this verse says, even the idea of being a real jiva is an illusion, just like you falsely understanding a snake on a rope was an illusion. Chaitanya never becomes a jiva. Just as the rope never became a snake. It was not that there was a snake, you drove away the snake and then you were able to see the rope. No. There was rope and rope alone. It is Brahman and Brahman alone. That false understanding of the jivatva on Brahman is because of ignorance, just like we see a snake on the rope. So the jivatva is a misapprehension and not a transformation. That Brahman has never become a jiva this way. Now, let's take another metaphor. Like say you see your reflection in a mirror which has got cracks. And you assume, array, what has happened to my face? I've got, cracks on my face. Now the crack is in the mirror. Mirror here is the body and mind, but not in the consciousness. Who you are that consciousness. But due to misidentification, you understand it wrongly and you suffer. So now this verse, there are all these subsequent verses. It's not just a philosophical claim, it is a direct pointer for liberation. You can catch any of these verses, meditate on them strongly. Yeah, where there was a snake, it was all the time a rope and rope alone. But my wrong understanding made it look like a snake. In the same way, there is Brahman and Brahman alone. My wrong understanding is making me look like this jiva. So you don't have to become Brahman, you already are. So this sense of being a jiva is the last veil. And this verse, it actually pierces through that veil. So understanding this while you're doing nididhyasana, and wait for the dawn of that Aparoksha Anubhuthi, the direct experience of the self. This is what we need to do. Anything which, it is like a buffet. All these are not that you have to use all these. Just like in a buffet, there are so many, the spread is so large, not that you have to eat everything. Whatever you like, whatever you can digest, you eat to the extent you want. In the same way here, take one concept also and do your nididhyasana on it. You are sorted. And now after 2 or 3 verses, Shruti are the Vedas, continuously they are proclaiming. So where you have an opportunity to even argue or doubt it. So this way now in verse 43, he completes his arguments, and now we'll go to verse number 44. रज्ज्वज्ञानात् क्षणेनैव यद्वद्रज्जु हि सर्पिणी भाति तद्वत् चिति साक्षात् विश्वाकारेण केवला. So here, at the very instant of the ignorance of the rope, as it appears as a snake, so too the pure and changeless consciousness itself appears as the world of plurality because of ignorance. Here, if you see, this is a slightly twisted verse. So, now what does he say over here? So, if you see, just as due to ignorance of the rope, it appears as a snake in an instant. The moment it is dark, that is ignorance, you saw that to be a snake. Pure consciousness itself appearing directly in the mind manifests as the entire universe. Now, this will understand more clearly with the help of this Apple Vision Pro. Okay, you all can go on YouTube and just see what is the Apple Vision Pro. You know what it says? Like, you wear that Vision Pro, and then you can have a screen in the air in front of you. Now, why I'm not using the TV example or that screen example? The TV is also a very good example, but there, in the TV, there is some hardware there. There is some kind of a box, and that box has got a stand or it is fixed to a wall. You can see an hardware. And if there is a TV, you cannot go in and through the TV, right? But now this appearance, illusion, what we are talking about, it is like you just do like this, and there a huge screen, 10 feet by 10 feet screen comes in front of you. And then you just, swipe it like this, it will go to another screen again in front of it. And you say, I want to be near a waterfall. And you will see the whole place around you becomes a waterfall. And you say, I want to be on the banks of a lake, a serene lake. And then you have options also in that. You will be like you are wearing it, and you will feel that you are sitting next to a lake, and there are birds and there are beautiful flowers. See now, where and how? This is just the beginning of this Vision Pro, which has just come. There are so many advancement will happen, research will happen in that. Now, when an ordinary human can create this kind of a vision illusion in front of us, imagine what the world. So here it says the mind has manifested an entire universe. So this verse, it now offers a brilliant deepening to the rope snake analogy. Now what it is doing? It is slowly shifting the attention from the Jiva to the Jagat. See his mastery. So far he explained about Jiva. Now he says, Baba, it is not only Jiva which is illusion, even the Jagat is also illusion. How the non-dual Brahman appears to be this universe, not in reality, but due to ignorance. And there again he takes the rope snake example. Take the same example, the Jiva is false. It's an appearance. And using the same example, he says even the entire universe is an appearance. The rope has not transformed into a snake. The appearance of the snake is just by your mind, superimposed. It is known as adhyasa, upon the rope. Just as the snake is superimposed on the rope, so even the same way, here also the world with your mind is superimposed. Now, is there any difficulty to understand? There are 4 people in one house. Okay, one is sitting in the living room, one is sitting in the bedroom, one is sitting in the, let's say, the balcony, and another one is in the kitchen. Okay, now all 4 of them have created their own world in their own mind, isn't it? It could be anything, but they are living in their own world. In the same way, with the help of your mind, you can create any kind of a situation or a world which we all have experienced. So Brahman is not transformed into the world. The world is an appearance in the vision, in an ignorant vision, you can say. So this is the key tenet of this Vivartavada, they call about this, the theory of apparent transformation or illusion, which is one of the key tenet of Vedanta. This is Rajju, Sarpa, Chit and Jagat. Now how do we compare this? Now rope and snake on one side and the consciousness on the other side. Team A, team B. Okay. What is happening here? Rope appears as snake due to ignorance. Okay. Now pure consciousness appears as the world. The other side. Rope appears as snake due to ignorance. That is, ignorance means bad light. And pure consciousness appears as the world. 2. The snake is never real. There is no snake at all over there. The world is never real in itself. On the other side. Then the third one is correct knowledge of the rope destroys the illusion. The moment I get to know it is a rope, suddenly the snake is out. It's not there. So in the same way, knowledge of that Parabrahman, Paramatma, dissolves the universe as the other. Now we have understood there is a universe, something different from me. No. So the snake is not out there, but it is just a projection in the mind, just like the universe is a projection in consciousness, which has happened due to avidya. Avidya means ignorance. So Chitta Sakshat. Chitta Sakshat, in the second line, world appears only in the mind. Isn't it? When you go to deep sleep, there is no mind. Where there is world at that time. When you are dreaming, you have the world. You have the world because you have your mind. When you are awake, you have the mind. So there is the world in front of you. And everybody is sitting next to each other. 4 people may be sitting next to each other, but all the 4 people have their own world in their, which is created by their mind. Is it not? Ask yourself. In which world are you? We ask, no? In which world are you? When somebody talks something irrelevant, everything, just like that Vision Pro can create a world for you, in the same way, with that ignorance of the mind, we have been creating a world around us. Now the word Chitta next. Chitta Sakshat means the world is directly perceived in the mind. Chitta Sakshat. What is using these terms over here? I am directly perceiving a world of my own because of my mind. Whatever I generate in my mind, I am not concerned what the next person is perceiving. Whether that world is there or not, I don't know. But I can conceive a world of my own. So this aligns with both the Advaita and the, if you look at the modern phenomenology. The world you see is not the world, but the mental representation of the mind. So then he moves on. Vishwa Karena Akara. Meaning this again a very powerful claim. What it says, the universe is just an appearance in a particular form. But it's not a second reality. All names, forms, that is Nama, Rupa, they arise like waves in a ocean. In an ocean of consciousness. But the ocean never becomes the waves. The waves are just the name for different forms of water. There is a big wave, there is a small wave, there is a spray of water, there are bubbles. They are all forms of water, but there is no wave as such. So in this way, Now here, if you understand, now he cuts down on the aspect of even the jiva what you considered. That verse 43, previous verse, it dismantled the notion of a separate jiva, giving the same rope and snake example. And the same understanding, because of ignorance, the mind created. I created with my own mind, I created a snake over here, and I was all the time trembling. What is this? And then comes verse 44, that dismantles the notion of a separate world, Jagat. So this way, Jiva, Jagat are all mental projections. So understanding these two verses in the true sense means it only leaves us with that superpower, that is that Brahman and that Chaitanya Shakti. What is its nature? Non-dual, unchanging and infinite. Now this is again a direct roadway to Aparoksha Anubhuti. All these are extremely important. Please meditate on this. So this has to be our kind of understanding. So now let's compare to the Apple Pro, if we have to see, So the world you see, mental projection in Chaitanya. Okay. With Vision Pro, what happens? The virtual reality exists only within the device system, as we have it in our mind. So what you see is the interpretation, rendered interpretation of the device, not the objective world. In Vedanta, the world we see is not as it is, but our mind constructs it. We can construct our own world. But in this Vision Pro, what happens? Whatever is designed and stored in the software of the Vision Pro. Now even our mind also has got a limitation. In the same way, there the Vision Pro, it renders, it gives some kind of an interpretation where it has in its store. Then that pure consciousness is like a blank screen. Okay, the mind projects the Vishwa Akara, just like the Vision Pro renders us what? This AR and VR scenes from time to time. Just like the verse says, Chitta Sakshat Vishwa Akarena Bhati Kevalam. Only in the mind does the world appear. Suddenly in that Vishwa Pro, you may see that a ball is coming to hit you. That's a digital ball. Similarly, you can see your own self. They call it as the avatar, where you can see yourself, like in middle air, in the space. You see and you can relate to, you can see several other things. So this fear, desire, attachment, anger, all that you start questioning this. These are all just nothing but mental projections. It is you have the power of your mind to generate positive thoughts, you are always happy. But if you are weak and you allow the mind to take over, it will always keep you as a slave under the spell of negative thoughts. See, this can happen, I'm telling you. That can happen. You don't know what this person can do to you. Better be careful. This way it will talk about your health, it will talk about your finances, about your relationships. This way the mind can take you to a downfall. It is understand that the mind is in your control. So mistaking a rope for a snake or a digital mist for solid truth, what they talk about over here. So in Vedanta, pure consciousness, there you have the real physical environment. Then mind plus ignorance, avidya, it equals to that Vision Pro device. So this way, if you see, it is coming very close to what they are saying over here, that you can understand. Yes, how is it that a machine I put on my forehead and I can see whatever I want? I want to be in a forest, on a safari, where there are rhinos. Yes, you are there. Or you want to go fishing, you want to go skating, you want to go in a desert, it will take you anywhere you want to. And not that you're looking on a screen or on a TV screen or on a movie screen. It is you are in the middle of a desert over here. You can skate on water, you can skate on ice, you can climb a mountain. How is all this happening? Projection of the gadget. In the same way, the projection of the mind has created a world. So, this we need to understand. Because of that avidya, we are considering this entire world to be true. Now again, take the dream example. Till the time you are awake, whatever was happening in the dream is considered to be true. Till the time you get this knowledge, and with your nididhyasana, you are convinced that yes, this is not true. There is something higher to this, which is that state of consciousness. When I cross my mind and I go to that state of consciousness, then the waking state is a lower reality. I understand. Now I understand. So you have to make that attempt. The mind has projected all this. Cross over the mind. If you want to see the true self, cross the mind. So this is the ultimate journey which is going to be. Now let's move forward to verse 45. Upadanam prapanchasya brahmanonyanya vidyate tasmat sarva prapancha ayam brahma eva asti na cha itarat. So here we come to now verse 45. So now what does this verse 45 talk about? Now it slowly moves to another angle. Now let's understand this. It says, the substratum for the whole universe is nothing but Brahman. See, so far it says Jiva is an illusion and the world is also an illusion. If it is an illusion, there has to be some substratum, isn't it? Like even if I have to see a world around, what was the substratum? The Apple Pro, Vision Pro was the substratum. So here now, what is the substratum to this whole illusionary world? If I am seeing a dream, I know that my mind is the substratum for the dream. So here it talks about what is the substratum? So it is known as Upadana Karana Siddhanta. So there is no material cause of the universe other than Brahman. See, it's very clear now. We are slowly coming towards the truth. If at all anything is appearing, it is by the material of the Paramatma and Lord alone. And here there are three causes. For example, you're making chapatis, okay, wheat chapatis. So now the material, you need material, meaning you need wheat, okay, and then that is known as upadana karana. Just for your understanding in Sanskrit, upadana, material cause. Then you need a instrumental cause, which is known as the sahakari karana, which you need a instrument on which you can make the roti, and also to make you need the wooden roller. So that it becomes a instrument cause. Now there is one more thing. Three things are required: the wheat, the instrument to make the chapati, but you need a person who is going to roll the chapati. He is known as the efficient cause, which means the nimitta karana. So here they give, like you're making a pot. The material cause is the clay, the instrumental cause is the wheel and the stick, and then the efficient cause is the potter. So now this verse, it focuses on the upadana karana, which is the material cause, not about the instrument nor about the one who is making it. It says, out of what is this universe made of then? If you are talking again and again as an illusion, so then it says Brahman alone is that substance, because there is no second substance, no second material. There is no second reality other than that one principle of that divinity or Paramatma. If gold is the only substance in all ornaments, then all are gold, despite they appear as a ring or a chain or a bangle or a tiara. Similarly, the world appears manifold, prapancha. Prapancha is prakarshena panchaha prapanchaha. This panchabhutas, when they are prakarshena, when they get combined in different proportions, they become different material substances. But he says the world appears manifold, but it is actually Brahman is the essence. Now, as we see in every atom, what is there? Neutron, electron, proton, and behind all that, what is there? God particle. Science has proved it now. In 2012, where they clearly spoke about, I don't understand what is that power in this atom. It is that God particle. So this explodes the illusion of plurality. That there are, you cannot say there are no mountains, there are no rivers, there are no bodies, there are no minds, no joys, no sorrows apart from Brahman. Anything you see, it has to be with the tattva of Brahman and Brahman alone. Catch this. There is no you, there is no me, there is no world. It is God and God in absolute terms. Only Brahman appears as all this, because the upadana karana is nothing but the God particle. Now, the role of avidya and namarupa over here. So why do we see a world and not just Brahman then? So he says, because of the namarupa, he is appearing differently. The name and form. Nama means name, rupa means form. Just like different pottery, you have different, when you make pottery, different potteries. When you see, different forms of that pottery, their names, they don't change the clayness. Meaning clayness means the clay. So too the forms and names of the world do not affect Brahman's unity. Avidya, ignorance. Just as a rope appears as a snake, Brahman appears as the world to an ignorant mind. So now you see how you connect these verses. Verse number 43, there is no real Bheda. Bheda means difference. No real Bheda exists. Jiva is only a mistaken perception. Then again it goes to verse 44. World appears only in the mind, not in Brahman directly. Then verse 45, here what we learnt, there is no second material other than Brahman. Therefore, the world is Brahman and Brahman alone. Nothing other than that. Just like now he talks about several Mahavakyas are coming up. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma, Chandogya Upanishad. All this is indeed Brahman. See, just use your logical mind, your tactical mind, your practical mind, and see anything which is made of, which you see in the universe, is it not made out of atoms? Finally, I'm talking about. You take any object, finally you come to an atom. And in that atom, don't we see there is a God particle? So isn't that saying that even whatever is appearing before us is none other than that pure consciousness or that God particle or that Paramatma. As we see, now see the difference again, waking and dream world. So there you see forests, you see rivers, you see people, you see wars, you see there is joy, there is sorrow, there is misery. But the entire material of the dream is your own mind. Only one mind, your own mind. Just as mind alone is the upadana karana. Upadana karana means the material of the dream. What is the material of your dream? Think carefully. Nothing other than your mind. Brahman alone is the upadana of the world. When you wake up, don't you say, oh, the tiger chased me? And then you say, my God, it was all in my mind. Similarly, the wise say, all this is just Brahman and Brahman alone. Come to that state. Everything you see around is nothing but that Paramatma and Paramatma alone. It was all in my mind. So now say, it is all that Paramatma alone. So every object you see a tree, you see a cup, you see a hand, you see a star, you see a vehicle, is not really that thing. It is Brahman appearing with a name and form. So as you interact with the world, that practice mentally reframing. This too is Brahman. This too is Brahman. This too is Brahman. There is nothing else. Now this dissolves the adhyasa, superimposition what we have got, and it reveals that oneness. Otherwise everything cannot be one. How can a snake and a dog be one? How can a sage and a cat be one? They're totally different. But when you go to the substance of everything, which you see, this too is Brahman, this too is Brahman, there is nothing else other than Brahman. So just as the clay is never not the pot, Brahman is never not the world. But just as pot is not truly separate from the clay, the world is not truly separate from Paramatma or Brahman. When you stop seeing the potness and see only clay, and when you stop seeing the worldliness and you see only Brahman, then comes the Aparoksha Anubhuthi, the direct experience of the self. Several pots are there. Don't see pots, only see clay. You see the world, objects, people, places. Only look at the God particle in everything. Only God and God alone. Then you start realizing that Aparoksha Anubhuti. As far as you are transacting, transact. Where you have to give money, give money. Where you have to take money, take money. But don't do the other way. Because the one who has to give, if you are giving him money, he'll gladly take. You have to take from him, but you're giving him. But if it is the reverse, you have to give somewhere and you ask him money, he'll not give you. So as far as that transactional part is concerned, keep yourself, your mind active. Only use it for that. Other than that, see everything as that God and God divine particle alone. Then we will be established in that divinity. Okay, so now if you have to take all the three, verse 43, no real Bheda exists. Bheda means separation. Jiva is only a mistaken perception. Verse 44, along with the Jiva, the world also appears only in the mind and not in Brahman directly. It is in the mind. And then he comes to verse 45, there is no other material or second material other than Brahman and Brahman alone. So the world is Brahman, There is nothing else other than Him. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, Chandogya Upanishad. Okay, so now we'll take up the next verse. Let's keep a decent 20 minutes to do our meditation, and we need to move to the higher planes of consciousness, as I explained. So what is the route map, and what are the pre-qualifications you need to have to go on to that route? All that we'll learn in the next session. Okay, so we stop here and we go on to the meditation, which is in the form of a question answer. Try to understand it and then make it your own experience, where you do it without your mind. You have to go to that stage. So for that, repetition is extremely important, and we'll get on to it. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Verse number 50. Swapana swavasho vyaapi naikatma naika karma krita vatsaro vatsalo vatse ratnagarbho dhaneshwaraha. 467. Vyaapi. So Vyaapi means all pervading. Pervasiveness in philosophy indicates subtlety. Thus, all pervading means that which is subtler than the subtlest. This concept is again sustained by the physical observations in the world. The cause always pervades all the effect, just like the gold pervades all ornaments. Just now what we learnt. What is the meaning of the cause? Upadana karana. What is the cause of a chapati? The wheat. What is the cause of a gold ornament? The gold. What is the cause of a pot? Clay. So this entire universe is an effect, and He being the cause. See this coincidence today. What we have learnt is coming in the Vishnu sahasranama. He pervades all and everything at all times. Thus the all-pervading, in its suggestion, indicates that He is the ultimate cause, and Himself in His pervasiveness is ever present everywhere and in everything, presiding over all behaviors, actions and work everywhere in the universe. Very good conclusion. So it is that Lord and Lord alone is everywhere. So look at the world, but not as you were looking till date. Look at it as that God and God alone. To such a Vyaapi, we offer our humble salutation. Seek His blessings. Now we take the blessings of Lord Dhanvantri. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaయ Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Our salutations to Lord Dhanvantri, who is none other than the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Now, let's do the meditation of Sakshi Bhava, moving towards the Chaitanya Bhava or pure awareness. This is basically trying to bring in all this knowledge into our practical experience. So the most important phase, come. Please make yourself comfortable wherever, however you are seated. If you need to get up, take a few steps and sit back again. Another 20 minutes where you need to keep your body still, straight and erect, but yet relaxed. Take a few deep breaths. Breathe in slowly and gently, as deep as you can. Inhale and exhale. Feel the calmness and serenity in your mind. Relax your forehead. Your face, relax. Your neck, relax. Your shoulders and chest, relax. Relax your entire upper and lower body. Keep your spine straight. And with total attention, allow this knowledge to sink in deep. Now, stage one would be, we are moving from the Aham Bhava to the Sakshi Bhava, which is the state of this I, ego, to witness. Question: what is the witness? The witness is that which sees all things come and go. It itself does not come and go. It is the changeless background in which all experiences arise and eventually set. The witness is not a person. It is the light in which everything is seen. It is the Chetana Shakti, the reflected consciousness, in which everything is experienced. Is the witness the same as the self? The witness is a reflection of the self in the mind. Is the witness the same as the self? No, the witness is a reflection of the self. Self here means the awareness, the consciousness, the Chaitanya Shakti, This, when it is reflected in the mind, it becomes a witness. Understanding this is very important. Now, it is a step towards realization, but not the ultimate. This witness is a step towards realization, but not the ultimate. The self is beyond the witness. This self, awareness, consciousness is pure awareness beyond subject and object. Can the witness observe itself? The witness can only observe what is other than itself, just like the eyes. The eyes cannot see their own eyes. They may see a reflection, but it can see everything else other than its own self. So to know the witness as yourself is the end of illusion. So far what we have considered ourselves to be as this person. So now we are considering ourselves to be a witness. Awareness is not aware of itself. It simply is. How do I become the witness? A question. You do not become the witness. You are the witness. Just that you have forgotten. That's all. Pay attention. Observe your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your feelings, your perceptions. Watch all these as if it were happening to someone else. This is the key here. How to become a witness? Watch all this as if it was happening to someone else. Slowly the falsehood, the false self-identification of aham bhava will drop naturally. Question: what is the value of witnessing? The moment you become the witness, you break this spell of identification. You see things as they are, transient and superficial. It brings a sense of detachment. Clarity and peace. You no longer drown in experience. In other words, you are free from the kartrutva, bhoktrutva and the karma bandhan, meaning you are free from the wheel of samsara. The moment you start witnessing your own self, just like as you see others, you are freed. Question: is awareness, this Chaitanya Shakti, consciousness, beyond the witness? Yes, because the witness is still a form of consciousness which is dualistic and dependent on the mind. As we understood earlier, what is the witness? Awareness shining on the mind, which is also known as the reflected consciousness, that is the witness. You should know the characteristics, then you will be able to fit in the role. So the witness is still a form of consciousness which is dualistic in nature and purely dependent on the mind. Now we come to stage 2. Now the transition is happening. The understanding, the preparing from the Sakshi Bhava, which is the witness state, to the Shuddha Chaitanya, which is that awareness, consciousness. So we move on to the stage 2. Now we are established in being a witness. Aham Bhava is gone now. Awareness is beyond both the witness and the witnessed. All that we see, who was seeing all this? The witness was seeing. Awareness is also seeing the witness and the witnessed. Now we are getting this, where you have to go. It is pure being, timeless and spaceless. It is what you are. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Question. Now there is a subtle difference again over here. Consciousness is always conscious of something. It is partial and subject to change. Awareness is total, changeless, silent and still. Awareness is not an experience, but it is the background on which all experiences appear and disappear. Now what happens when even the witness disappears? A question. This is what we need to achieve. What happens when even the witness disappears? Then there is only awareness, pure and silent. What is the meaning of witness disappearing? As you had understood, witness is nothing but the reflection of the consciousness. So if the witness has a reflection of the consciousness on the mind, So if the witness has to disappear, meaning mind has to disappear. So what happens when the witness disappears, meaning there is no mind over here, then there is only awareness, pure and silent. This sense of separation ends. When there is no mind, there is no separation. All separation, all anxieties, all sorrows, joy, happiness, fame, honor, dishonor, gain, loss, good, bad, ugly, sad, all that is in the mind. But here there is no mind. So this sense of separation ends. No one remains to say, I am aware. There is just awareness. This is the true self. This is real. Can this awareness be described? Question. No. It can be known only by becoming it. It has no attributes. You cannot see it, but without it, nothing can be seen or experienced. It is closer than the mind, closer than the I am. I am here means that ego, what we are experiencing right now. I am and mind, it is much closer than that, but we have not ever tried to reach that stage. So that is your true nature. That pure awareness, pure consciousness. Allow this to sink deeply in your mind. Every time you do, you will be moving closer to that awareness. You will start understanding the subtle differences. You will start getting to know where you're getting stuck. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, we offer today's Jnana Yajna at your lotus feet. Seek your grace, mercy and blessings. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam Shri Krishna arpanamastu. Idam namama. Om Tat Sat. Good evening once again to all of you. So we'll keep moving ahead and we'll eventually reach our goal. I'm sure God's grace is definitely there on all of us. Just go with that faith and have that complete surrender. And let's move ahead. Hari Om. Practice whatever has been said. Get more clarity. Don't allow half-baked knowledge in your mind. This has to become a state of conviction. Then only we'll be able to achieve. 99.9 also will not do. It has to be 100%. Thank you. Hari Om.
सर्वसाक्षि स्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षि स्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः। घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः। ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः। अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवो